Module 2. Reviewing your book and creating your course outline. The first step to turning your book into a course is reviewing your book and deciding what material from it would be good for your course. Creating your course outline. While you might turn the whole book into a course, your book may be better suited to being turned into multiple courses, depending on how long it is. Figure that the narrator will speak about 130 to 170 words per minute, averaging 150 words per minute. So the narration for a 50,000-word book will be about 333 minutes, or 5.5 hours. Normally, when you turn your book into a course, you have to edit the copy to adapt it to the spoken word. That can include breaking up longer sentences and making other edits, rather than expecting the narration to be a spoken version of your book, as in an audiobook. As a result, it can seem daunting to turn a longer book into a single course. Instead, you might think of creating separate courses of different sections of your book. Another consideration is that some sections of your book might lend themselves to a PDF that students can download rather than be presented in narration. For instance, if you have a series of examples, cases, statistics, or a workbook, those might be better put in a PDF. Also, you might turn the narration for the course into a transcript in a PDF, and perhaps you might include the photos or video thumbnails that accompany the narration. Then, students taking the course can download the PDF as part of a lesson. A good way to determine whether to create a single course or series of courses is by looking at your table of contents and considering the total length of your book. Then, you can decide where to make breaks, if any, such as by creating several courses of 40 to 90 minutes each. Another possibility is combining the video lessons with consulting, coaching, or Q&A sessions. Alternatively, you might turn the whole book into a single course with different modules which are like parts or chapters in a book. Then, you might include a series of lessons in each module, like subheadings or sections within a chapter. Or you can feature a single lesson in a module. The organization depends on the length of the lessons and whether they might be better combined or stand alone. For example, a series of short 2 to 5 minute lessons might be combined into a module, while a longer 7 to 10 minute lesson might be a single lesson in a module. However you set up your course, figure that individual lessons should be 3 to 10 minutes with an average of 5 to 7 minutes. This way, by limiting the length of each lesson, it's easier for students to view these lessons in smaller chunks and decide how many they want to view at a particular time. An example of creating a course outline. To illustrate, here's how I divided up Turn Your Book or Script into a Film, which was about 50,000 words, into a course with modules and lessons. After I looked at the outline, I decided that the first part on reviewing the film potential of your book or script was a natural place to create an initial course based on the first 16,000 words. However, many sections in that part of the book were examples of reviews I had done of over a dozen books, so I thought those were more appropriate for a PDF that students could look at more closely later. After I took out those sections, the total narration was about 7,000 words, or 45 minutes, for the first 2 chapters, which would become the first 2 modules of the course. Then, since many courses have a bonus module, I used the third 1,500-word chapter about applying these principles to assess one's book for that module. The result was a course of about 55 minutes. I thought it would be good to start with the first part of a much longer book and sign up students for that first. This way, I could determine how well this first course did before deciding to create additional courses for other parts of the book. In short, because of the length of the whole book, I looked at the outline to find logical breaks to turn into several courses. However, if you have a short book of 40 to 75 pages, create a single course from that. To illustrate the process, here's how I broke the book into 3 courses, which is included in a PDF. Creating your own outline. Now that you have a general idea of what to do, look at your book and decide what to include in a course. Decide if you want to turn your book into a single course or break it up into 2, 3, or even 4 courses. Later, after you create all the lessons, you can decide if you want to combine them into one or more courses. Alternatively, you might give students an option of signing up for individual courses separately or for all the courses packaged as a single combination course. If you offer this option, you might have one price for individual courses and a reduced price compared to purchasing the courses separately, say 20 to 30% less for the package. In creating your outline, you can consider the chapters as modules and create one or more lessons for each module. The best way to do this depends on how many chapters and sections you have. For example, in my case, I divided the book into courses of about 10,000 words each, with a separate PDF of about 7,000 words in the first course. Then, following a short introduction to the course, I thought it made sense to create 3 modules with a single lesson each, rather than creating one module with 3 lessons. But if I was creating a longer course for the whole book, I would turn each section of the book into a module. Then, the first module would have the 3 lessons, and the other sections of the book would become modules with their own lessons. Or if these sections become separate courses, I would use the one lesson for each module approach. Use whatever approach works best for your book. Commonly, these courses include a bonus module, which might include extra information or an additional chapter, as in my course. To illustrate, using my own course as an example, the course structure in the outline would look something like this. Separate courses. Course 1, Introduction to the Course. Module 1, Lesson 1. Module 2, Lesson 2. PDF with examples. Bonus module. Bonus lesson. Course 2, Introduction to the Course. Module 1, Lesson 1. Module 2, Lesson 2. PDF with examples. Any additional modules and lessons. Bonus module. Bonus lesson. Course 3, Introduction to the Course. Module 1, Lesson 1. Module 2, Lesson 2. PDF with examples. Any additional modules and lessons. Bonus module. Bonus lesson. Combined courses. Introduction to the Course. Module 1, Lesson 1. Lesson 2. PDF with examples. Any additional lessons. Module 2, Lesson 1. Lesson 2. Any additional lessons. Module 3, Lesson 1, Lesson 2. Any additional lessons. Bonus module, bonus lesson. Now go ahead and create an outline for your book. Once you know what to include in your course, you are ready to create the narration. Start with an introductory module to provide an overview and free preview of your course. After that, create the narration for all the lessons in each module in your course.